LeBron James is one of, if not the, best player in the NBA right now, and some have made the claim that he is indeed the greatest player of all time, which is obviously highly debated. He's a 3-time NBA champ and has been to 9 NBA Finals. He's a future Hall of Famer and the face of the NBA in many respects. And yet, despite all this, players will sometimes want to see if they match up against King James. Allow us to show you some players who tried to fight with LeBron James. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 7. The defenders on the court. Let's be honest here for a second, shall we? Every NBA game is a battle, not just to win, but to get stats. So in that way, LeBron James is almost always fighting somebody in one way, shape, or form. And as he's proven over his long career, he is the kind of guy to make defenders look like they're standing still. Many teams have tried to put defensive players against LeBron, and yet he blows past them like there's nothing and gets the points or the rebounds or the assists and whatnot. LeBron is just that good, for real. Ironically, this is a staple of his career in some ways because players learn to not defend him as much and just defend the rest of the team because LeBron can't do it on his own, as he's proven time and time again. But still, a win is a win. Number 6. Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet was only 2 years into his NBA career when he decided that it was time to go up against LeBron James. He was battling him in the Eastern Conference semifinals alongside the Toronto Raptors when LeBron did a move on him that he didn't like. So when it came time to get under the basket, VanVleet went right up to LeBron and both tried to tangle him up but also shove him down. The problem is that LeBron is much taller than him and heavier, and so he quite literally shoved Fred away, which got him very angry and he tried to get back in his face, but LeBron walked away and his teammates stopped him. Afterwards, he talked about the event and why it happened and that it was a matter of respect and such, but you could tell that it was just a frustrated player trying to get his due. Number 5. Paul Pierce. One of the things that sets LeBron James' career apart from many other legendary superstars is that you can literally boil down his career into phases. For example, his first phase was when he spent many years with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and yet couldn't get the job done and with the title. One of the biggest reasons for this was the Boston Celtics, who had a major resurgence during LeBron's first phase and had Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, and more to give them a solid team that went to 2 NBA Finals together. 1-1 and almost went to a third before dissolving. Paul versus LeBron was one of the best matches in the rivalry, and their games were so good that it led to legit hatred between the two. Paul Pierce even said that it was he who was LeBron's greatest rival because he would own him on the court at times, and it was the Celtics who sent him into phase 2 of his career via the Miami Heat. Though LeBron would get the last laugh at the end via getting 2 rings in Miami, the rivalry between these two was so fierce that an alleged fight in the tunnel happened. The details are sketchy, but given the passion these two players have and had, we're not surprised. Number 4. Danny Granger. In the 2012 playoffs between the Indianapolis Pacers and the Miami Heat, Danny Granger was one of the best players on the court and one of the leaders of the resurgent Pacers who were trying to make a name for themselves. Granger himself was a famous trash talker and often went up against James to try and show his worth. During one playoff game, however, he pulled on LeBron's shirt to get him off the field to play, and LeBron responded by nearly blasting Danny with an elbow. Danny went off on this, and the two had to be separated. Danny blamed the chip on his shoulder for pushing things with LeBron, but he felt that he and his team weren't being respected. LeBron didn't buy that though and said that whatever he's doing, it isn't working. Number 3. Enes Kanter. In the NBA, loyalty is something that is not only preached but expected. And that means you stick up for your teammates when the time comes, especially when it appears that another player is disrespecting one of your own. Sure enough, during one season, LeBron noted that the New York Knicks had made a mistake in drafting one player over another who was having a good rookie year, stating he should be a Knick. Enes Kanter bit back though and said that it wasn't right for LeBron to say that. When LeBron went back at him and when the two met at their next game, a fight did break out when LeBron had a conflict with the rookie, whose quality he questioned. Enes came out to back him up and the 3 players had to be separated. Enes again said after the game that he wouldn't be punked out. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. we're going to fight. Number 2, Patrick Beverley. If you were to label one player as the biggest thorn in LeBron James' side, it would be none other than Patrick Beverley. Why? Because he has a reputation of bugging players like LeBron with his defensive antics, which in many ways makes him a good player, but also someone whom LeBron doesn't like to deal with. For example, he swatted the ball out of LeBron's hands in a dead ball situation. He took a charge and pulled him close, causing the two to get into a scuffle. And Beverley has tried to incite other fights from LeBron, forcing James to step away. LeBron hates dealing with him, but because Patrick is still in the league, he has no choice. Number 1, Stephen Curry. Steph Curry is easily one of the best players in the league, and he holds something over LeBron that no other team can say. Mainly that he went and beat LeBron not once, not twice, but 3 times in the finals. All 3 rings he holds he got because of beating LeBron, including their last scuffle ending in a 4-0 sweep of King James. Curry played both offensively and defensively against LeBron, and though LeBron did get 1 victory over Curry, it was because of a cheap foul, and many cite Curry's domination in other series as proof that in the finals, Curry fights LeBron and almost always wins. And there you have it, players who have tried to go and fight King James and had mixed results. Are you surprised that this many players tried to step up and fight LeBron? Did you think any of the fights were legitimate in terms of them going after LeBron? Who do you think will try to fight him next? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.